Is game-based learning an effective means to increase student engagement? For decades, educators and developers have been trying to blend video games with education. These efforts have led to the development of game-based learning. Generally speaking, game-based learning occurs when students play video games that have been designed to achieve defined learning outcomes. In this Solar Energy Defender game, students learn about how solar energy is generated and used. Game-based learning differs from gamification in that in gamification, learning and game elements run parallel to each other where the game mechanics have nothing to do with the learning outcomes but are more focused on incenting students to participate. However, in game-based learning, the player is immersed in the game context and must learn to play and learn as they play. So why is game-based learning of interest? In 2012, James Paul Gee outlined the benefits: role-playing, problem-solving, collaboration, deep technical skills development, and most importantly, the development of affinity spaces, which is the building and extending of knowledge. Game-based learning expert Russell Francis shares that we know that the design and development of innovative and imaginative learning environments remains important. He informs that a number of organizations are actively promoting innovative designs for educational games. Francis underscores that we cannot develop a theoretical understanding of the educational potential of video games without first understanding suitable designs. So where do we start the process of understanding? Let's take a look at some key pedagogical foundations. In constructivism, according to Van Glazersfeld, for a constructivist to have learned means to have drawn conclusions from experience and to act accordingly. In the Kerbal Space Program game, players create realistic spaceships and rockets that behave just as they would in the real world. As students play, they actively construct their knowledge via their experiences in-game. This knowledge is easily transferable to the real world. In situated learning, students experience learning in the correct context and in authentic ways. For example, in Farming Simulator 17, students develop an understanding of the processes related to agriculture in ways that would be impossible using traditional direct instruction. They learn as farmers as they play. In distributed cognition, cognitive processes are distributed across members of a social group. This distribution of knowledge allows individuals to specialize and share their cognitive abilities with the group. Minecraft is a great example, which has students building, solving, sharing, and working together to learn. So what are the benefits? According to Leonard Anetta, the most prevalent outcome is students' positive emotional engagement, thus making the learning experience more motivating and appealing. According to Rosas, achievement in algebra, reading comprehension, and spelling and coding of grammar improve, as do cognitive abilities such as problem solving, strategic planning, and self-regulated learning. Schreer has shown that video games can be used to help students develop pro-social thoughts and behavior, which are very important foundations for experiences in failure. Hayes reports other benefits including enhanced spatial ability, motor skills, mental rotation skills, and geometry performance. And Donlinger shares that deductive reasoning and hypothesis testing are improved. These are critical for developing adaptivity. However, there are some concerns, including addiction patterning, which occurs when the brain is highly stimulated and the student therefore finds non-digital activity to be dull and boring. Many students also report getting lost and losing time during gameplay. And according to Lemke, students can become disconnected from the real world because they spend significant amounts of time in the virtual world. For now, putting these concerns aside, let's focus on why we're seeing these positive outcomes. Maurice Schmel, in Learning Through Quests and Contests, discusses the following game features that facilitate the learning process. Students' creativity increases because they take new identities in role-playing. Interactivity is experienced because students must perform an action in order to get feedback. Students fail and must learn from the failure in a safe and careful environment. Content can be scaffolded into well-ordered problems, students learn by doing, and students cannot proceed to the next level unless a skill is learned. Finally, Kolb adapts the New London Group's manifesto. We see in this diagram that game-based learning facilitates concrete experiences, observation and reflection, formation of abstract concepts, and testing hypothesis and knowledge in new situations. According to Kolb, this suggests how games might provide the situated practice missing from many equally instructive as pedagogies. There is significant scholarly interest in game-based learning, and I expect the quest for insights into overall effectiveness will continue to drive scholarly activity. Thank you.